Hello and welcome to my Climbing CLI gem. I'm going to go ahead and show you the user interface and then walk you through some of the code. So my project is for rock climbers. I'm a rock climber, so I want to do something specific to that. And what I did was chose my favorite climbing area. It's a boulder field called Stone Fort in Tennessee, and it's got tons of boulder problems. So I created a gem where a user could ask for specific climbing workouts based on that boulder field, and it'll populate a selection of climbs for each workout. And then if they wanted more information on a specific climb, it'll give them even more information on that climb. So I'm going to go ahead and take you in and show you what it does. So it starts off by greeting you. Hello, climber. It's a beautiful day to get outside. What would you like to climb today? And the three workout options are classics, volume, and limit. And it says enter any option from the list above to get more from those climbs. Or if you'd rather see a list of all the boulder problems, then you could type list. So classics would be classic climbs in the area, moderate grade range. Volume would be easier and you'd be doing more of them. And then limit would be like top end, so really hard climbs. So we'll start with the basics. Type in classics, and it says more info on classics. And it gives 4 climbs. So right here you can see this is the climb name, and then here's the climbing grade. And all this data is scraped from a website called mountainproject.com. It's very well known in the climbing community and very reputable. So all the content that's used in the interface is pulled from there. So these are the climb names and grades. And so from here, if you wanted to go back, you could, or if you wanted to choose a specific problem, let's try black carpet, then you get more info. So it says, nice choice. Here's some additional info. It gives the climb name and grade again, and then it gives a description of how to climb it, where it's located in the boulder field, and the type of protection you would need. So someone to spot you and a crash pad. And let's say we wanted to go back and try, let's see what volume looks like and check out Ruby Roo. So similar, does the same thing, but for a new climb. Let's go back and maybe now let's look at the whole list. Now we can see all 12 climbs that we currently have in here. And from here, you could choose any of them and get the same information that you did before. So you can really get a full picture of any of the climbs that you're interested in. And from here, you could go back and choose your workout, look at some more climbs, or at any point if you wanted to. You're ready to go climb, you can exit, and it says happy climbing. So that is my CLI, and I'll take you to the CLI code. So this is the CLI class, and it starts out with a call, and that's the greeting, hello climber. And then it runs through 3 different methods here that are mapped out below. So the first one, make climbs, that's when the climbs are first scraped and instantiated into climb objects, and then that data is pulled into here and put out in the interface. So that's what's happening here. This create from collection method is in climb, and this all climbs info method is in scraper, and this actually returns an array which gets passed into this. So that's how that's all created. Magical stuff. And then in here we have the climbing list options. So this is the output of the initial list of workouts. And then here we have the specific climbing list. So this is the input output of whether they want to see a different workout, whether they want to see more info on a climb. This is kind of the main conversational piece. And if they did want to see classics, it would call in that method. Same with those, or for all the list of climbs. If they wanted more info, then it would call in this further info method, which is down here. So for this one, it has some other options. If they typed back, it would take them back, exit to exit. But if they did pass in a climb choice, that would get passed into this further info method in climb, which would give them the additional information on the climb. And there's some other messages in here about what to enter. I'm sorry, I don't understand, as there's an error message in there. So different things to make it just a really friendly interface for the user. So this is the CLI class. Let's check out the climb class. So this one is in charge of all the objects of climb. It has all of the attributes for each climb: name, grade, description, location, protection. So it's basically all things climbing. Anytime a climb is instantiated, it happens through here, and then it saves in here with all its awesome attributes. And so in this initialize method, a climb hash is passed in, and each key and value applies to the adder accessor so that that climb gets everything it needs to be fully equipped with info for the user, and then that gets saved in the class variable so that it can be called on, like when we need to make all the lists or the different categories. And this is how you would make the list, or this is the method that makes the list. So this is called on in the CLI, but it pulls all of them, adds an index to them, and then formats them and colorizes them and makes them nice and pretty. And then we have the three methods that define the three different types of workouts. We have classics, volume, and limit. So you'll see the numbers here are different because that's how they're categorized based on their different difficulty level of the climbs. So if you added more climbs in, it would still be able to organize those. So then you could have like bigger workout lists and different climbs, and it would still be able to handle that and organize that. And then whatever matches here, what you're looking for, it selects that and then saves it in this array that's applicable to whatever particular workout you're looking into. And then that is iterated through with each with index, and that's what puts out the list of climbs. And same thing happens here and here, but specific to volume and limit as opposed to classics. And then this method is very similar. It takes the climb choice of a specific climb and it selects again to see if there's a match. But for this one, if there's a match, it iterates through and pulls the additional information for that specific climb and puts that out. And then down here, this is part of what originally happens when the climbs are created, because they're created based on a collection. It's a climbing array that's passed in. So that array is passed in, and then each one of those is instantiated through our initialize method up here. And that's the climb class. And finally, we go to the scraper. This is the scraper class, and we have a class variable up here of climbs info to hang on to the info that we're scraping. This is the actual method that scrapes. So a URL is passed in, and I use the Mountain Project URL for this, but another URL could be passed in. Now this is formatted specifically to the URL, but if you could do any other climb on Mountain Project from their page of Stone Fort climbs, and they would all fit this formatting. So then we use Nokogiri to help scrape the info, and then this is the info we pulled with all the selectors. And then here we have all the different attributes that wind up being assigned to each climb, and we pull that data and save all that in a climb info hash for each climb, and then that's passed into the climbs info class variable array. And here are all the URLs that I chose to include in this project. Like I said, if you went to this classic Stone Fort Classics page, there are a ton of others that you could also pass URLs in for. So you could add them into a grouping here, or you could pass them individually just into the URL method, and it would all run really well and add everything in and get more climbs. So that works. These are the URLs I chose to use, and I grouped them all into one big array called all climb URLs. And I did that so I could consolidate everything down here. So this is kind of like the big creator bundle of methods down here. But all climbs info uses all these URLs and iterates through each of them and pulls the URL and then adds that URL up to here. So it scrapes them individually. And then that's saved for each individual climb in our class array, climbs info, and then that is what's passed into the climb class to instantiate everything. So that's how it all works, and I hope you enjoyed checking everything out with me, and I can't wait to learn more. Thank you.